Oliver Litondo is the epitome of excellence. A graduate of the University of Iowa, Stetcom University, and Harvard University, he rose from a humble background in Kakamega. Oliver began his education in public schools before eventually moving to the United States to pursue higher education. Upon graduation and his return to Kenya, Oliver secured the first job as a broadcast journalist with the national broadcaster, Voice of Kenya. His career culminated as a news anchor at Voice of Kenya Television, later transitioning to Kenya Television Network, KTN. During his broadcasting career, Oliver also served as a correspondent for BBC and Deutsche Welle Radio. He later transitioned into film, having developed a deep interest in theater. Vibes in the Hood visited his beautiful home at Riat Hills in Kisumu City for an exclusive one-on-one with this legendary star. One of his notable appearances was in the American television series Unforgettable, which aired on CBS, a major US network.
Yeah, that's one of the major series that I took part in. Another one is one Il Figaro. Il Figaro in Italian means
Wanderlust.
yes. So in the Unforgettable, I played a part of an African who is actually a doctor and well known, and he goes around giving lectures, and he goes to America. But there's a group that doesn't think he should be doing what he's doing. They're jealous, and they want to kill him. So when he goes on a trip to lecture or to give a lecture in America, they hire this group. It's based somewhere in Africa. They hire some people in America to kill him.
Some bandits.
So he's on stage now to talk to the audience. And a sniper is seen in one of the rooms up, looking down at the audience. Somebody notices he's there. But the people who now are guarding sort of this guy are informed, and they're in the group that the audience. So they quickly disperse themselves. Some go up to arrest these guys, and the others go quickly and take this guy away. It's something that I enjoy doing because some of the well-known stars in America, like this lady called Montgomery, is starring in it. And it's one of the series that are usually played by known Africans.
Right.
But I have a role in there, and which adds to my,
to your resume.
accolade, yes.
Right.
That I could play in that series. I've been imprisoned and tortured.
Your safety is in our hands.
One of the many blockbusters Oliver Litondo starred in was Unforgettable. His serious acting career began with a locally produced film titled MLEVI in 1968, produced and directed by Regbel Singh. MLEVI told the story of a wealthy old man who made his fortune in Nairobi but squandered its own city women, forgetting he had a family in the village. His daughter, now of age and fresh out of high school, travels to Nairobi in search of him. She finds employment as a receptionist, hired by Oliver Litondo's character, a doctor. The two become entangled in the search, only to find the lost old man working as a waiter in a dingy nightclub. Other films featuring Oliver Litondo include The Will Be Conspiracy, 1975, Bush Trackers, 1980, where he played KIMANI, Shina in 1984, and The Lion of Africa, 1988, where he portrayed a sergeant. Oliver's film career earned him numerous accolades, including the prestigious AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Award in the United States of America, beating out big names like George Clooney, Kevin Spacey, and Eddie Murphy.
I couldn't believe it. I mean, these are stars that I myself were admiring or admire because of their prowess in acting. Clooney is just a superstar. Murphy, you can't say much about him. He's well known as a superstar. And Spacey, these are three giants in the silver screen history. And for me, from nowhere, nobody has heard of me, to beat these three
superstars,
giants,
right,
was just unbelievable. And by the way, getting a presentation, this one, from Ali Mohammed's daughter.
Yes.
She's the one who presented it.
Right.
She was there.
Right.
And she was sitting right next to us there. It was just out of this world. And then when I was given a chance to address the audience, the people who had come to that occasion, I had 3 standing ovations.
Right.
3. And I said to myself, what is going on? Yeah.
To a point of even pinching yourself. Is this,
yes.
Is this really Oliver Litondo
yeah.
from the Republic of Kenya?
Yes, exactly. So the people who wrote about it, one of the papers said, we know George Clooney, we know Andrew Spacey, we know Ed Murphy, but Litondo, who?
Litondo who?
Yes, this is who is this Litondo?
The man without the actor without a title.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just amazing that
yes.
And the people who were on the panel that chose me were big Hollywood producers, and it was just an amazing thing. And then the headlines went wild, in not only in America, in Britain.
It was coverage all over, actually.
Even here. So when I reflect and look back to that day, I still kind of in a daze, wondering, really, was this true?
Oliver Litondo has shared the screen with global icons such as Sidney Poitier, Michael Caine, James Earl Jones, Brian Dennehy, Isabella Rossellini, and Poppy Montgomery. For most of us, these stars exist only in the silver screen. I asked Oliver what it was like to interact with them. Were they full of hubris, or were they down to earth?
The world of arts is a very easy world. It's a friendly world. It is a non-discriminatory world. It is a world of everybody. So long as you are an artist and play a part in the creative, artistic world, you're welcome, regardless of where you are. These people are human, friendly, very nice to talk with. They engage you, you engage them, and you are at par. They don't look at you as somebody who has a supportive role, maybe in the film that they're starring in, or you are an African and they're Americans, or you're black and they're white. This world of artists brings everybody together. This world of artists, if it were a world that had to be given a chance to lead this world, to lead a country, we would have a
better universe,
a better earth.
And in any case, in fact, even if they are superstars, a particular point is that they also started with smaller roles.
Yeah.
So they know their history, where they've actually come from.
Yeah, and you know, in acting, in films, in productions, for me, I don't, as a director, if I'm directing a play or a film, there is no role that I regard as a small role. There's no role that I regard as a big role, because small roles make the big role.
They complement. They complement each other.
They complement each other. They are in that movie on their own right, and they are in that movie playing a role that supplements your role as a star. So you don't take people and call them small roles or supporting roles or whatever.
Big roles.
These are roles that complement and supplement each other.
Tell me something about the script, because an actor is supposed to go through the script and understand it and be able to conceptualize the script. So when you lose a certain line, because as a normal human being, you can lose a certain line, but so long as you don't detour, do they just allow you to continue, or you must repeat whatever was actualized in the script?
Okay, okay. Let me take your question and bring in the stage.
Yes.
Film and stage.
Yes.
Or film and theatrical presentation.
Right.
In theater, if you go to watch a play
at the National Theatre.
At the National Theatre, the actors are acting for the audience.
Right.
They're present there.
Yes.
They're sitting there. You must deliver your lines accordingly.
According to the script.
And you have to keep within your script. In the film,
right,
you have a script. It may be 19 pages. And you're doing a scene which may have maybe 10 pages. You're not expected to memorize
everything,
all those, and deliver them as if you are delivering for the audience on stage. Of course, you have to know your lines. You start delivering your lines. But when you forget at some point,
a particular word, might be,
the director stops the shooting.
That's why they say cut.
Exactly. He says cut. So the shooting, they start all over.
They start all over again. But it can be very intimidating. Psychologically, you know, like how you acted yesterday.
Of course.
Is actually different from today. Psychologically also affected.
Yeah, if you are the person who can be intimidated because you forgot your line, and therefore, oh my goodness, what did I do? You know. So you stop. The director says cut, you cut. Then he comes and you go over that part.
Right.
So that you now can do it and you go. But of course, if you do it like 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 times,
you'll be chucked out.
Which people do. I remember in one place, somebody took 20 takes. 20 takes. That thing is going. The film
is rolling.
Yes,
it's rolling. And that's money.
And you're wasting time. That scene is supposed to take like how many minutes?
Right.
And now you are going on and fluffing, and then you fluff again, then you fluff. I mean, even your actor colleagues would be sort of, what's wrong with you? You know, and that intimidates you. So, to answer your question, no, in films, you can stop, go over your lines, start over.
Oliver, in 1990, You're supposed to travel to Masai Mara by helicopter with a group of other filmmakers, including Gordon Parks Jr., for the production of Bush Trackers. That helicopter crashed and all aboard perished. Share your memories of that, and sorry for taking you back onto that unsettling moment.
Yeah, that film was the first, I think the second English film that was going to be made in Kenya. The first one, you remember, Color Mask.
Kalamask, yes.
By
I watched Kalamask.
Sao Gamba.
Yes, Sao Gamba, yes.
Yes, that was made locally. The Bush Trackers was going to be the second. The uniqueness of the Bush Trackers that it was being directed by an American, the African American called Gordon Parks Jr. Gordon Parks Jr. is was a well-known director. Those of you who will remember the film called Superfly, is the one who directed it, and it won a lot of awards around the world. And I was proud to have been cast to star in that film. And Gordon Parks Jr. had come here purposely to set up a local film industry of serious consequences.
Right.
And he had assured me that I was going to be his star in the movies that he was going to be producing. Now, that night, the night that we arranged to go to Masai Mara, we were supposed to meet at the New Stanley where the offices were for the production of the film. And we would meet there and then drive to Wilson Airport.
Right.
To take a small plane to fly to Masai Mara, to do a film there, a scene there. And we were going to be there for like 3, 4, 5 days. That morning, everybody else was there at the New Stanley except me. I was late. The circumstances leading to my lateness had something to do with the domestic side of me. When I got to the New Stanley, the rest of the people had already gone to Masai Mara, to the airport, because the producer had decided that since I was late, those who were there would be flown, and then the plane would come back and pick me later, because we were not shooting on that day that we would arrive in Masai Mara. So as I got into New Stanley, and the producer told me that the rest were going, but he was waiting for me to be at the airport for the aeroplane to come back and pick me. A telephone came in, and the producer, who was called Gary Stricker, picked it, and I saw his face turn. I said, "What's wrong?" He said, "I'm sorry, but the plane that was going to fly us, or was flying the other members of the crew, has just crashed."
Oh my God.
And all the people in it, there were about 7 of them, are dead. So we got into the car and we drove to Wilson Airport, and true enough, the plane was burning. All the people who were in it
had perished.
And I would have been on that plane had I not come late. But then, and then the papers, the local papers, the following day, headlines screamed, "Oliver dies in a plane crash."
Oh.
Yeah. And you can imagine in my home village,
yes,
reading and hearing the story even on the radio. Of course, I'm dead. They start crying, and so on and so forth. Later on, of course, turned out that I was not in. And I thank God for that forever and ever and ever.
Right.
Because I think it was his plan that I don't go on time and be on the plane.
Currently, Kenya is proudly represented in Hollywood by renowned film stars such as Lupita Nyong'o, Edgar Thegi, and Kran Shah. I asked Oliver Litondo for his thoughts on this representation.
You know, Kenyan actors are a special breed. What do I mean by that? I mean, if you compare the acting capability of actors in other African countries, I don't want to name them, you can and compare them with the Kenyan acting capability. There is a seriousness in the Kenyan actors' makeup and acting ability. They are serious. They take the parts that they are given in the movies they may be cast in seriously. They rehearse them seriously, and they execute their lines very seriously. If, for instance, you watch a movie that is now on Netflix called Country Queen.
Country Queen, let me note it down. Country Queen.
Which is an all Kenyan cast.
Right.
You'll
appreciate our
see
talent.
that what I'm saying is true.
Right.
Because that is just an example of what Kenyan actors can do. We had a place in the film industry all the way to Hollywood, and the names you've just mentioned are an example of what would be and where we would be today if the film industry in Kenya continued to be where it was when we went to Hollywood, when Lupita went to Hollywood, when those people went to Hollywood, when I went to Hollywood.
Right.
When Hollywood moguls, producers, directors used to fight to come to film on location in Kenya because of the Kenyan situation, the enabling environment, political, climatic, social, economic, and the attitude of the people themselves used to make these people come here every now and then. We used to have at least 3 films in Kenya, on the Kenyan soil every year.
So Oliver, because I'm a great follower of also film industry and theater in Kenya, and I remember Oliver Litondo, Shane Mwegereri, Lenny Juma, some of the people really contributed a lot in the film industry in this country and theater too. Well, have you been able to nurture young people to replace you as we look forward to bettering this industry?
When you want to nurture them and they go to a school to be on the stage and you tell them
those are echoes of war.
You are doing the wrong thing, and you bring your guns and trail your guns on young
and
kids
tear gas
and tear gassing them. What are we doing? So when will you nurture them? Malala wants to nurture them through his play, Echoes of War. That is how you nurture people. And yet you tell Malala, you are a subversive element. You are spoiling our kids. And yet you, who is accusing Malala, have nothing to offer these kids except tear gas and guns. So who is doing the nurturing? Who is doing... To answer your question, all the theaters that you know in Nairobi are closed.
They've actually become
they're churches.
evangelical realms.
Exactly. And even in the eastern part of
where they magically heal.
You used to have
people.
social halls in Kariakoo, in Pumwani. I remember there used to be a film theater in Isli run by a woman called Josephine.
Josephine, yes.
From Wanye Road there.
It was called City Cinema.
Yes, City Cinema.
And we had the likes of Shan Cinema.
Exactly, Shan Cinema.
Yes.
Even in River Road, there was a cinema there we used to go to.
Audience Cinema.
Exactly.
It became a church now.
Where are those? Why are they being churches? Because the creative industry is ununderstood by the so-called the political class. They have no clue. They don't know what the film is. They don't know what theater is. They don't know what creative industry is.
Despite the challenges facing the local film industry, Oliver Litondo continues to support and nurture emerging talents. A recent film titled Birthday Alive, shot in Kisumu, reflects this commitment.
It has actors who are young kids, young girls. I think they're now big now, but they were young when they were in it. I was in it, and I love to act with kids because that's my way of showing them. They watch me, and they see me, and when we are off stage, they talk to me. We talk, and they ask questions. I answer them. So the few films that I've done lately involve kids.
Right.
There's one called Cash Money. Cash Money is, again, I think is on Netflix.
Netflix, yes.
Yeah, if you look at
Cash Money.
Cash Money.
Let me note it down. Cash Money. Huh?
Yeah, it has young kids. I act with them, and when we are just like, okay, pause for now, they ask me questions. We talk, we exchange views. They are curious, they are interested, and they are talented. Those kids that you will see in those movies,
right,
have never been on stage before. I've never even seen the film, the film camera before.
Right.
But it is here. It is in their blood. Africans are natural actors, by the way. They act naturally. If you have been to, I don't know if you ever went to some village funeral. In the village.
The village.
When you were a kid, I used to go. You see somebody's dead. People are crying. Relatives are coming to see. Before a relative reaches the dead body, she or he has made up a song, which as she or he approaches the body, singing. Just made up as they come, and you listen to those songs, they're praising the dead body. They're praising the deeds of the dead body. And this person has just made up those words, which are so true of the person who is dead. So what I'm saying is, we are natural. We are natural. We are not natural thieves, no. We are natural in the sense that we love what is ethical, we love what is good.
Maruge. Have a letter.
What do you mean?
That's why I came to the school. Please, teach me to read, Mrs. Obichu. The British did this to me. We have to learn from our past. We must not forget. We need good teachers. Bring her back.
Oliver Litondo is a renowned movie star whose role in The First Grader became a defining moment in his career. In the film, he portrayed KIMANI MARUGE, who began primary school at the age of 84. Yearning to read his favorite book, the Holy Bible, MWAI walked into the nearest school. After Kenya's President MWAI KIBAKI announced free education in 2002, Oliver Litondo won the lead role of legends like Morgan Freeman, and Sidney Poitier. The first grader captivated global audiences, telling the inspiring story of a man who defied age, convention, and history in pursuit of literacy. For this role, Oliver won the AARP Movies for Grown-Ups Best Actor Award and the Black Film Critics Circle Award. He also received the prestigious Kalasha Lifetime Achievement Award. Oliver Litondo and his wife Beldina Auma are both communication experts. Oliver, a veteran broadcast journalist, a movie star, a mentor. Beldina, a former journalist, actress, co-acting with Oliver in The Muntu, model, and philanthropist. Now based in Kisumu City after many years in the United States of America, the couple is dedicated to nurture young talent in the creative industry. Here is Oliver's take on that mission.
We have a film company called Lakewood Films. We incorporated this film company when we were in the US. It is registered both in the US and also here in Kenya. The reason we formed the company was to produce films, both here or in Kenya and in the US. But now that we are here, we want this company to produce films here. The films that we would like to produce are the films that resonate with maybe a local situation and yet reverberates globally. It affects the global world. It may be African, but somebody in Europe watching it, it resonates with him as he looks at his or her environment in Europe. So those are the kind of films we want to produce. We have a film on board entitled Ndovu, the Ivory Syndicate. The script is ready. We have done a teaser, the teaser Ndovu, the Ivory Syndicate. You can Google it.
It's actually on YouTube.
Yeah.
The teaser, yes.
YouTube, yes.
Ndovu.
Ndovu, the Ivory Syndicate. Beldina at the moment has a YouTube program called Diaspora Point.
Diaspora Point.
Diaspora Point, which comes on every week. In Diaspora Point, she started first to reflect on the diaspora, the people who are Kenyans or Africans but live in Europe or America or India or wherever. The experience there, what they are doing there, how they relate home, how to relate to where they came from while they are there. But she has now expanded it to include topics of interest, developmental topics, cultural topics, topics that reflect how Africans should be and where they should be today, tomorrow, why they are not where they should be. And she invites people to this program, she interviews them, and she has the program on YouTube.
On YouTube, yes.
We have plans to, God willing, make this film the Ndovu. We are trying to put together some money. God willing, and we are lucky with his willingness and his blessing.
Right.
We want to build a studio here in Kisumu. We have a piece of land on which we want to build a studio that will accommodate films, will accommodate music, will accommodate even covers, will accommodate people who weave, will accommodate potteries, and we have that space there that we will develop to accommodate these people. But the studio will be there to record music, musicians. You know, Kenya has got a lot of musicians. Kenya has got a lot of talent in every aspect of creativity. We are not We are not using this. And
We are not exploiting it.
And we have money. Don't tell me there's no money. There's money. If you see what Maraga says about money stashed away in Switzerland, what is that money doing there? Bring it back here.
They
I hope it can be brought back here.
6.5 billion.
Yes. Bring it back here. Let these young creatives have a chance to use that money to create films, to create music,
Right.
and make money. You're talking about employment. There's a lot of employment in creative economy. A lot of jobs. The film, even that teaser that we made, you know, we employed people who were not even qualified to do things, but they were there understudying, and we were paying them a stipend. And we were paying the people who were shooting that small teaser of about 5 minutes. We paid them a lot of money. This industry has got employment. This industry has got opportunities. But who wants people to get an opportunity? If you are not yourself, why should anybody else be there? That is the attitude that we have. So we're doing the little we can.
Right.
And we hope also, Beldina has got also an idea to start a place where she can bring young school-going kids.
Yes.
When they come from school, she provides them with a meal, an evening meal. They have a place they study, they do their homework, and they just go home to sleep, and then wake up in the morning to go to school. The following day they come, and we do the same thing.
Oh.
So through that kind of arrangement, we will be, bonding with them.
Bonding with the community.
Yes, bonding with the community.
Corporate
bonding
social
with these
responsibility.
kids. And therefore,
Right.
being mentors to them.
Oliver Litondo, recipient of numerous accolades in both broadcast journalism and the film industry. This is Kisumu City, Kisumu County, Vibes in the Hood. And my name is Daudi Kanja.